What is up, business nerds? We're doing a extra late night happy hour tonight, and I'm rolling solo. I was just packing for an elk hunting trip, and I'm gonna be gone for like 2.5 weeks. It's kind of crazy. I don't know if we're ready for it. My boy Ben Smith and I gonna go out in the mountains of Arizona and trudge around. And normally I jump on at 8 o'clock Central Time, and we have a guest on, and it's Wednesday nights. Tonight's a Tuesday night. But for the next 2.5 weeks, I'm gonna be MIA. So I was like, oh, I better get on here and see if anybody's hanging out now that I'm all packed up. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. Home service happy hour brought to you by Service Monster. Giving Service Monster a shout out. They're our new sponsor. Thank you, Service Monster. You guys are awesome. Let me rant about that for a little bit, and then hit me with some live Q&A if you're checking in. Let me know where you're checking in from. Let me know what you're up to. I see a couple people jumping on. I don't know why the hell you guys are still up. What are you still doing up? It's freaking late. Should be like going to bed or something. One of the things that I find, let me turn this thing into a public. Nope, not like that. I'm looking at my phone here. Edit privacy, public, done, change. There we go. Now we're rolling. I see this often in my bookkeeping business and when I do coaching stuff. And I talk about it from a bookkeeping standpoint that we're all really in the business of making decisions. And all of those decisions in the home service space center around capacity and demand. And the better we get our capacity and demand dialed in, the better our business runs. When we have the right amount of awesome employees and the right amount of awesome customers, life is good. And whenever that equation is off, and either way, life is chaotic. One of my favorite things about Service Monster is on their scheduling page, we can see in our business, we can see every single route, every single person, how much revenue they have, and the revenue of that day. And holy smokes, is that useful. We used to use a couple of other CRMs, and we literally typed in a Google sheet that our entire admin team had access to. We had a friggin' Google spreadsheet, and we were typing in by the job that got updated. We literally, every time we sold a job, we had to go onto that sheet and update the revenue booked on that day to make sure we didn't oversell that day. It was freaking chaos, and we just constantly had to keep it updated. I love that when we open up Service Monster and we're scheduling jobs, we can see who has room on their route. I'm not even gonna get into the color wheel of routing, but we can see who has capacity and where that job is, and if it's a purple job, some future episode I'll nerd out on the color wheel, and hell, maybe I'll even show it to you guys. But we can put jobs on the right person in the right area with the right amount of revenue. We can book the right amount every day, and that saves us hours per week managing our capacity and demand. And again, if you get that capacity and demand right, business is way easier to run. It runs a lot smoother. And we can do that because of Service Monster. And I still haven't seen another CRM do it. I don't know if they don't like look at each other's stuff. I don't know why they're not told. If I was another CRM, I'd be like, we need to totally steal that from Service Monster. It's like the best thing ever. So if you need to manage your capacity and demand and you need a new CRM, go check out Service Monster. It's over here. And there's a QR code to check it out down underneath my best damn bookkeeping beer bottle. And so go do it. I don't, and I said this, and I'll say this every time I talk about Service Monster. Don't try to switch CRMs going into your busy season. You're probably, it's the fall coming up. You're probably going to be really busy. Scope it out. Switch in the winter, depending on your industry, obviously. But switch when you're not driving full speed down the highway. That's like trying to change the oil in a running car. In a running car that's going 60 miles an hour down the highway. Don't do that. But scope it out so that when you do get to the slow time, you can make the right choices, get the right CRM to crush it in your business. So do that. I'm on here just hanging out. You guys hit me with any questions you got. I got a little bit of time, and then I better get my ass to bed. But I got an elk hunting trip with my boy Ben Smith. We're going outside of Flagstaff. Anybody ever hunted outside of Flagstaff? Me either. And we've whitetail hunted a whole bunch. Never gone elk hunting though. So it's a totally new experience, totally new adventure. I'm like equally excited and anxious about it, when you're going to go do something big and cool, but you don't really know what the hell you're getting yourself into. We got a lot of that going on. Ben and I, part of the reason I jumped on here so late tonight, ran up to Ben's house, spent like 4 hours just packing stuff. And when we first laid it all out, we're like, oh, we got plenty of room. We got the truck, we got the topper, we got the entire back seat. There's just 2 of us going. It's a 24-hour drive. We'll be fine. We got the trailer with 4-wheelers ready to go. We're going to drag some 4-wheelers down there. And of course, we had to throw a chest freezer into the back of the truck. He's got one of them fancy F1. Well, he's got an F350. It's got the generator in it, the plug-in. So we brought a chest freezer. So, if we shoot some, freeze that baby up. But man, we've got that thing packed like 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. I'll tell you what, it is full to the britches, including the back seat. And we don't have our like pedestrian clothes in there yet. So I don't know where we're going to put that. There's coolers riding around on that ATV trailer. It's going to be a mess. And hopefully it's a whole mess of fun. We talked to the outfitter for 30 minutes today, getting some beads on where we're supposed to go. I should say this. We're rolling solo, not solo. What is it if there's 2 people there? We're rolling dolo for that can't be right, but sounds cool. We're rolling dolo for the first week, and then we have an outfitter for the second week. So we're gonna go screw up a whole bunch. Total, and Ben's a small business owner too. So this is just total like entrepreneurial thing. We're gonna dive in, we're gonna screw a bunch of stuff up, we're gonna learn a bunch of stuff, and then we're gonna get help after that. And that was just the way it worked out when we could get this outfitter. Maybe we'll shoot one right away. Maybe we'll stumble into some luck. Ben does have a horseshoe up his ass. The tag that he drew, and I don't even have a tag. Ben's got the tag. I'm the donkey. I'm the mule. I'm just gonna be out carrying stuff. Got to have a drink of my cocktail here. Get parched. Oh, Jairus says, hey man, I didn't even get an invite. I didn't invite you, Jai, because I didn't even think I'd be back in time to go live. I actually, coming back from Ben's house, I had to make a pit stop at the hardware store. We got a toilet out of commission. I was legit gonna go live from the bathroom and have you all watch me try to put a wax ring on and put a toilet in. But then the toilet's out. Got that baby out because we had water going through and the wax ring had broken, and it's been a pain in my ass since I put it in the first place. It's like the 3rd wax ring we've gone through. So I'm gonna get a thicker wax ring, starting to solve some problems here. But there's some like mold and mildew underneath the vinyl that was there. So I got that pulled up, sprayed it, figure I'll tackle that. That's a future Dan problem. Bright and early tomorrow morning before Ben gets here, I'm gonna be fixing my toilet. Maybe I'll go live doing that at like 4 a.m. That'll be super fun. Then you can all make fun of me for how I try to be handy, but I'm probably not type of thing. I think that's what I got going on. Yeah, John, I'm doing the monologue tonight. Not going to go long. Just want to jump on, say hi to everybody. Hit me with Q&A if you got any Q&A going into the fall. I'm the finance nerd, home service CFO. Drop your whatever finance questions you got for me. Yeah, the new backgrounds are looking good, Jai. I didn't know this was the only background I had, Jai, where it's behind, I got the bar background, but then I had the other background behind that background. It's the only one I had saved. And I was like, this is just going to have to work. This is all I got to roll with. So that's what we're doing here. But so Ben's got the tag. I'm just there to call some elk, smash some brush behind him. I feel like, if you guys don't know this about me already, this is gonna be a long stretch. I'm pretty good at being loud. And with whitetail deer hunting, you don't get to be that loud. You got to be all sneaky. With elk, it's like they're big and loud, so we get to be big and loud. And Ben, I'm pretty damn big and loud. I'm not that big, but I make up for it with loudness. Ben is just big and loud, so I think that apparently that should work in our favor instead of work against us. Normally, it works against us. But I talk a lot when I talk about these adventures, and we do Boundary Waters trips and we do other hunting adventures like this. And I think outdoorsy hobbies are a natural fit for entrepreneurs, because we like to screw stuff up. And in the outdoors, you always are screwing stuff up. We like to push the boundaries of stuff. We like to take chances, right? You wouldn't be a small business owner if you didn't like to take some chances. And we enjoy failing and overcoming failures. And one of the things that really intrigued me, we were talking to the outfitter today, like I said, for like 30 minutes. And he's like, elk hunting is the most frustrating thing, because you will get 10 opportunities with elk in range and never even get a chance to draw your bow. And we're bow hunting, we're not gun hunting. So like you gotta get 50 yards away or better. He actually had, I believe he said it was a ex Navy. I don't know if it was a Navy SEAL. It was like a special ops dude that was out there. And after 3 days, the dude was in tears. Man was in tears. He was so frustrated. And I was like, well, I don't think that'll be Ben and I, because we have very low expectations. We absolutely expect to screw up over and over and over again. We do that all the time as business owners. And so we're like super well equipped for making mistakes, and we're super good at getting back up and just trudging forward. And so I think these outdoor pursuits are just a natural fit for entrepreneurs. So if you're out there running a small business, you don't mind being in the out of doors, grab a bow, go sling some arrows around. I know my guy Tyler Starkey doesn't hold back. That guy's firing arrows around all over the place every time I see him making a post. And it's really cathartic. There's something about just shooting a bow over and over again, perfecting a skill, and having all the thoughts in your head. And it's a weird thing. And I don't know if it's specific to archery. I think it extends to a lot of different places. When you run a small business, you don't ever stop working. You always are solving a problem in your head, right? Your brain's constantly working, and outdoor pursuits are so consuming that it actually like turns your work brain off. And there's not a whole lot of things that can turn your work brain off. I can be at a date with my wife, my work brain is going, right? I can be at my kids' sports, my work brain is going. I can be sitting around the dinner table, my work brain is going. I could be watching a TV show, I'm thinking about work stuff. When I'm in a challenging environment where my safety and my health and the thing I'm pursuing require like full attention, it's actually the only place I find where I can like fully check out of business and turn that part of your brain off. And it's really cool. And I find archery can do the same thing, just shooting in the backyard, because it takes so much focus and thought and concentration that your brain goes into this like dialed in mode. It's kind of like bowling, except harder, and you don't drink beer when you do it. That's probably the best analogy I got for it. But the arrows keep coming back to you, and you can keep throwing them, right? And shooting them out there. So if you aren't into hunting or fishing and that sort of thing, go pick up a bow, go sling some arrows. You don't have to shoot animals with it, right? But enjoy the challenge of it, and enjoy the turning off your business brain and tackling something new. And I saw there, John Karmazin had made a post today on his Facebook page about riding around in the tractor and just working on his property, and how that's a great place for him to like free his mind and just get creative. And Brett Madison had chimed in, and he had said mowing the lawn was that for him. If he's out mowing the lawn, he gets this like creative space. And that was what launched them into Holiday Lights. And now I don't know what, over $1 million of revenue in Holiday Lights they're doing. But some of the best ideas you have are when you have that activity where you can like really check out, and your brain just starts going off into la la land. And archery is one of those. I know, like I said earlier, Tyler Starkey dude's always like shooting his bow. And there's something about what it does to your brain, just having that activity to occupy you, to let your brain get out of the weeds of the day-to-day stuff that you got to do and start thinking about bigger stuff. But that's it. It's so friggin' late. There's a few people jumping on, but they're probably just all going to bed. So if you guys don't have any Q&A, I don't have any questions to answer. I just wanted to jump on, give everybody a shout out. I'll miss you for the next 2.5 weeks, because I'm not going to have any shows to do. I'm going to be climbing around a mountain. Maybe Ben and I'll jump on. We did that last year in Illinois. We've done it in our Kentucky hunts before. I do like to jump on when we're on an adventure and do a podcast episode, either like a follow-up one. We did it with Jeremy Jennings, Joe Deveneaux, and Jimmy Babuli when we got back from a fishing thing in Mexico. So here, what's up? Copious collections. I like that. I thought it was elections, and I was like, oh, that's saying something. That would be cool too. But yeah, it should be fun. It'll be an adventure. It'll definitely be an adventure, and that's what we're all about. But maybe we'll do a podcast on the drive or something like that if we got good enough service for sure we'll do an update one when we get back and tell some stories, because that's what we do around here, is tell some stories. But y'all be good. Run your businesses hard. It's the fall push. Go get it. Don't try to do too many new things. Just focus on doing what you're really good at, making money. You can count the chips later. Go get them. Peace out. You guys know what to do. Work smarter and harder. Go earn yourself some pride. Thanks to all of you. Thanks to Service Monster. We'll see you in a few weeks. Peace.